In March, a New Mexico jury ordered Meta, first time this has happened, pay $375 million, first time there have been any damages, but $375 million for enabling, or at least being passively willing to accept, sexual exploitation on its platforms, including Facebook and Instagram. Now, there's a second phase of this, a bench trial set for May over whether the company will have to make precise changes as directed or influenced heavily by the state of New Mexico, which brought the suit in the first place. The person who did that work, Raúl Torrez, the Attorney General of New Mexico, joins me now. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
What do you want from Meta in terms of this second bench trial, which is to, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, not only add to the damages, which Meta has said it will appeal, hasn't yet, but says it will, but get them to change things? What do you want them to change?
Well, we want them to change the way this product operates at a very fundamental level. We're looking for real age verification, changes to the algorithm so that they stop facilitating child exploitation. We are looking for a whole suite of changes that doesn't trap kids in this endless loop of grabbing their attention, keeping them hooked, and keeping them addicted.
And it would mean that the platform itself would have to take proactive measures and not just rely on parents or children to figure this out.
That's right. That's right. This is fundamentally a dangerous product that was purposely engineered to be addictive. They have made design choices over the years where they have chosen to prioritize profits over safety. And we're looking to have a judge order them to unwind those choices and fundamentally create a new experience for underage.
Because from your vantage point, and the jury backed you up on this is an intentionally defective product.
That's right. This was essentially a product liability case. This was a case about a company that built and engineered a product using behavioral science, using technologists to try and hook kids, but also create elements that facilitated exploitation. And then they lied about it. They misled the public. And that's what the jury found. We had a 6-week trial. We had a verdict in 1 day.
Remind my audience of the sexual exploitation component part of your argument and what the jury discovered.
So my background is as a career prosecutor. We actually used some of those same techniques in building our case against Meta. We created an undercover account where we were trying to replicate what the experience might be for a young person on the platform. People who thought they were communicating with a young girl were actually communicating with one of our special agents. And that account was flooded with sexually explicit material requests for in-person meetings. And I mean, it was an explosive reaction. Here's the shocking part. When the growth went off the charts, rather than raise a red flag about why so many people were trying to contact this child, the company actually sent the account information about growing its user base and monetizing the following.
I want to ask you about another topic that deals with exploitation. Here's a headline I came across. Cadaver dogs and drones. Records show scope of search at Zorro Ranch, carried out by the New Mexico government. What's happened?
So we've reopened.
Why would you want and need cadaver dogs on the Zorro Ranch?
Yeah, so we've reopened the dormant criminal investigation.
Which was owned by Jeffrey Epstein.
That's right. This is Zorro Ranch. It was a property that had been under investigation by my predecessor. And then he was asked to stand down by the Department of Justice back in 2019.
Which has been confirmed.
And he did that. But all of the revelations that came out with the release of some of the files that came from the Department of Justice prompted us to reopen the investigation. And my commitment to the public is to put every available resource that we have at our disposal. I can't comment on the specifics about the investigative techniques that we've used, but I will say this: we are trying to get
these are records that have been released.
That's true. That's true. But what we are fundamentally focused on is trying to get victims and survivors to come forward to understand that we need to hear from them and we want to talk to them.
Mr. Attorney General, that record revealing the use of cadaver dogs will lead those who watch this story closely to say, do you have any reason to believe there might be human remains on that ranch?
Well, that was an allegation that was made, and part of what we try to do is take a broad lens when we open a criminal investigation, so we don't rule anything out. And so that's why we utilize those resources. But again, our focus is on trying to connect with those victims and survivors and to hear from them and their story so we can have a complete understanding of exactly what happened at that property.
New Mexico Attorney General Raúl Torrez, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.